Okay, what are you saying, people, and welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel. So today, guys, we'll be talking about how I analyze the markets. Now, there's so many ways how to analyze the markets, different methods, different strategies, just different point of view, different perceptions. So there's so many different ways to analyze the markets, but I'll be talking about how I do that. Obviously, I do stream every week, and obviously I'm sharing my analysis. So I thought this video would be a good kind of introduction of how I analyze the markets, so you guys can learn along with it. So I'll be using an example pair, EURJPY on the screen now, breaking that down, giving my kind of analysis and what I kind of look for when I do analyze the chart. So hopefully this video is useful to you guys. If you are enjoying the content, please do leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell. All that good stuff does really help the channel out. Leave a comment down below as well. If you have any questions, I will get back to you. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so welcome to the chart. So as you can see, EURJPY on the screen, and like I said, I'm just going to break this pair down from the top to the bottom, just sharing how I analyze the market and the methodology I use to break the chart down. So I'm a swing trader, so I like getting my information from the higher time frames and taking that into the lower time frames to map out the swings that I think the market can make next. And the whole goal of my analysis is to come up with a plan of action. You've got trading and you've got analysis, two completely different things. Trading, you've got placing trade, trade management, managing your emotions, exiting the trade, taking partials, stop loss placement, target placement. All of that is to do with trading, actually trading the markets. Then you've got analysis, which is more so planning for the future that may or may not happen. And I'll talk you through that as we go through this. So on EURJPY, on the monthly time frames where I start, and I work my way down through the weekly, daily, and then 4H hourly is where we start planning out some entries and entering the market. So on the monthly time frame, what I'm looking for is just the structure, the trend of the market. I'm looking for confluence in direction. So on EURJPY on the monthly time frame, for me, this is a trend. It's a overall kind of sideways, as you can see. That's kind of our equilibrium, but the market is slowly moving to the upside. We've got this low down here, we've got this high up there, we've got this higher low compared to that low, another higher low compared to that low, another higher low there. We've got this high at the market just gone and taken out there as well. So it's showing us that resistance is breaking and support is holding the market, slowly pushing to the upside. I do have a long-term target for EURJPY back up to those highs at 149. So from a monthly perspective, this market is definitely bullish. So that's what I've got for the monthly. We're bullish. So from a monthly perspective, I'm looking to buy it. Now we're going to the weekly. Weekly as well, still bullish as well. You can see the higher highs and higher lows. Nice push there, pullback there, nice push there, another pullback there, another push to the upside, and potentially another pullback that's going on right now. So again, weekly, monthly in agreement. They're both looking bullish and both looking higher. Going on to the daily, and again, we've got the exact same thing with the daily chart as well. We've got the low down here, we've got another high up here, another low there, another high, and potentially another low forming if that continues higher. So from a daily perspective, weekly and monthly perspective, everything is pointing to the upside. So from my perspective as a swing trader, that's great confidence. That's exactly what I want to be seeing, because now if I can look for some buying opportunities on the 4H or the hourly, I do have good probability on my side, and also it means that the trade could go a lot longer. Like I said, I've got those monthly targets I'm expecting price to eventually hit. I wouldn't hold a trade that long. You could do if you wanted to, but it just means that if I wanted to leave some positions on to carry on, I can do that and possibly eventually hit some higher time frame targets. But all I'm looking at, as you can see, is the trend, the direction, and direction for this market is the upside. So that brings me on to my first point. The first thing I'm looking for analysis is direction. I need to understand the direction of the market and direction that I want to trade in. And for me, from the higher time frames, it's bullish. So going into the 4H, what can I see here? I can see that the market is in slight disagreement here. The market is kind of falling to the downside here in the 4H. As you can see, we're slowly pushing to the downside and taking out some lows and giving us some lower highs. So 4H is slightly bearish, but again, this could just be a counter trend move to continue the higher trend to the upside. So what I want to see on the 4H now is to see some higher highs and higher lows, and then I'll try and look to enter on the higher low, expecting this to reverse and the continuation of the higher time frames. So Which brings me on to my second point. Now we've got planning for the entry. So we've got direction, which is the first box you want to tick. And the second box you want to tick is location of entries, looking to enter the market. And this is how we plan. So how I enter the market is candlestick patterns, 4H, hourly, depending, mostly hourly, but depending on the type of price action. But where I look to enter my trades is off support and resistance, looking to keep it nice and simple. And this is the most obvious level of support that pops out at me. If we can break above that, retest, possible higher low, we can look for some continuations to the upside. So something like this, we've got this move to the upside here. You can break above it, pull back, form potential higher low, then we can look for some continuation to go to the upside. So something like this is what I'll be expecting price to do if indeed we're going to reverse this 4H bearish trend to follow the higher time frames to go to the upside. So in this case, I'll be looking for entries around about here. Nice break and retest. If I don't get entry there, probably look to see if we can break the higher price may or may not form. Look for a retest of that level there, and then the continuations higher. So again, just try and stay in sync with the higher time frames. So I've already got my direction. I know how I want to enter the market, break and retest of that, looking for the next high low, or if I don't get that, break and retest of the high there. Now I've got a plan of action. I've got my direction and I've got my entries potentially mapped out. Again, analysis is all theoretical. This may or may not happen. The 4H time frame is still breaking lows and giving us lower highs. We could still dive to the downside, break through this low and maintain this bearish trend, and who knows, this could slowly turn into reversal. A pullback. A reversal is basically a pullback that just doesn't continue. It eventually reverses. So if that takes out that low and starts to continue, and we see the bearish structure in the daily start to continue, then yeah, potentially a reversal could happen. I'll reanalyze the market and map out some possible sell opportunities if that is the case. But as of right now, things are looking a little bit bearish from the 4H. So wait and see if we can get some higher lows and higher highs. Looking for that first high low, reference to that low there at around 137,400, and then maybe a break and retest. Who knows, that high might be here, might be there. It's just the concept we're looking for, really. So I've mapped out my direction, my destination, and I've also mapped out possibility if my analysis is wrong. Like I said, if we're going to take out this low, most likely price is going to have a deeper retracement or potential reverse. At that point, if we do take out this low, I'll probably just sit on my hands, reanalyze the market. I wouldn't look for sales because I know my higher time frames, daily, weekly, monthly, are still positive to the upside. So I'm not going to jump into sell just because the 4H is still bearish. But what I would do is just analyze the market again and probably sit on my hands and wait for a better opportunity first. We may just want to retrace a little bit further before we go long. So what I've got is destination, entry, and also what happens if the analysis fails. And at the same time, I'll be monitoring EURJPY and seeing what happens, because this is all theoretical. This could happen, but it's all theoretical. We may just explode to the upside and may not get the retracement I'm looking for. I might have to settle for break and retest of this high up there and taking buys off that. If that's the case, we'll monitor price. Okay, we're breaking through this. I'll say, okay, a break and retest of that. Look for entries there for the higher low, and then continue. So again, that's reacting and adapting to what price is giving us. So the kind of elements you want of your analysis is: number one, direction; number two, possible entry and target destinations; number three, what happens if it goes wrong; and number four, being able to react if your analysis doesn't necessarily not play out, because it could still go up, but doesn't necessarily form the entries you want, and you may have to settle with a different type of entry. So you need to have those four things mapped out for your analysis. And then you've got trading, which is entries, going break even, managing stop loss. All that is different topics for another video, but from an analysis point of view, this is what I'll be looking for EURJPY going forward. So from this, I've got my analysis done. Now, from a swing perspective, I'm just waiting to see what price is going to do next. This is the 4H time frame. It's going to take some time to develop, so I'll just be monitoring that. And if I can get some nice break and retest of that, if I can form that high, next high low, look for entries. If not, if it doesn't look too good, or I missed entry or something, we've got another entry there, or possibly at those highs there. But long-term direction, this thing is up. So eventually I do expect us as long as the structure maintains, two pens should be trading at those highs. So that's what I'll be working towards for EURJPY for the long term. Short term, still looking a little bit bearish, but long term, this is still on an upwards trajectory. So that's my analysis, and that's pretty much how I go for all pairs. Again, not all pairs will be looking as good as this one. The confluence is very, very strong on the higher time frames. Monthly, weekly, and daily all agree. Sometimes you see the monthly look one way, weekly go the other way, and then dailies ranging. So at that point, they're all out of sync. Best thing to do is move on to another pair. If you're a bit more of a day trader and you focus on one or two pairs, then of course you can take this analysis that I'm doing here on the higher time frames and just take it time frames lower. So if you look at day trading, you want to do this maybe on the hourly and the 4H, or potentially daily as well if you want to sneak that in there, and look for your entries on the 15-minute or something like that. That way you do have some higher time frame confidence, because I'm a big believer in multi-time frame confluence, giving you that extra kind of confidence and confluence that the trade could actually move in your direction. So just because I'm looking at the monthly, weekly, and daily doesn't mean this doesn't work on like the 4H or the hourly. Structure, higher highs, higher lows. It's all the exact same thing. We're simply just analyzing the direction and the trend of the market. So hopefully this video is useful, guys. We'll see what happens. I mean, I do live stream every week. Feel free to go check it out. I'll be talking about EURJPY. So we'll see how that gets on. Hopefully you can get some trades for that one. But yeah, guys, this is how I analyze the market. I'll be doing more videos trading wise, so do stay tuned for that. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe. Any questions you may have, leave it in the comments below. I'll take a look at those questions. I'll make sure I reply. But yeah, guys, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff helps the channel out and keeps you in the fam. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you all in the next one.